What is up? Welcome back and welcome in to Red's Place. Today we're doing another Fuck the 9 to 5 Friday, and if you're new here, what that is we're gonna talk about ways that I've avoided a 9 to 5 basically my whole life and strategies you can use, different jobs, different techniques, ways to save money and whatever it is for you to, different ideas and strategies that you can use to, try to avoid a 9 to 5 like I have, if that's what you're looking to do. I think for a lot of people it can help a lot mentally, and it's a big struggle to go to a 9 to 5 for a decent amount of people out there. So today we're going to talk about Instacart and Shipt, two grocery delivering programs that I've used over the past year to make income. It was really fucking good at the start of the pandemic, and since then it's kind of gone downhill, and kind of hit a little bit of a rebound right now, and we're kind of in this middle area. And I'm sure it really depends on what market you're into, because I've heard Detroit is needing Shipt shoppers like crazy, and this was 3 to 6 months ago, so maybe it's completely changed now. But at that same time, Chicago was overwhelmed with shoppers. So it all depends on what area you're in, and this kind of goes for all these gig stuff. It's where you're at makes a difference as to what kind of money you can make. But Instacart and Shipt, it's pretty easy, it's pretty straightforward. It's basically, each system operates a little differently, but you claim an order, you go shop the order, you do all the grocery shopping, you pay for it with the Shipt or Instacart card, you go deliver it, hopefully you get tipped. I think it's, for people who are kind of high anxiety to putting people in their vehicle, for Uber and Lyft, I think this is a good alternative. Yes, you still have to deal with the customer. Yes, it can still cause anxiety because you're worrying about, did I get the right item? Are they gonna be upset if I get a substitute, this and that? But overall, I think it's a little bit more of a low anxiety situation versus, an Uber or Lyft. And it really is that simple. It is, you claim that order, and each system has their different ways of showing the orders and things like that. And you go shop all the items. It's right in the app. You scan them, they go in. Sometimes there's a few hiccups, but for the most part, you scan it, it goes in. If they don't have the item that the customer requested, you message them. On Shipt, you message them and ask for a substitute. And if they respond to you, then you get a substitute. On Instacart, you can scan a potential substitute and they can decline it or accept it. Super easy. You go check it out, bag it yourself, or have it bagged by a cashier, whatever route you want to go. You're just like another customer, with the exception of Shipt. More often than not, you're scanning a tax exempt code, but other than that, you're just like a normal customer. You go deliver it, drop them off at the front step, and it's over. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. And when you're looking at the two different systems, Shipt will list their orders and it does not include tip. Instacart lists their orders and it does include tip. Only caveat to that is on the Instacart, they can adjust their tip and they can adjust it down. And that does happen sometimes. More often than not, it's not happening like that. Sometimes the tips will even get adjusted up. Shipt, tips come in after and you have no idea what it's gonna be. So when you're comparing orders, make sure you're aware of that this $45 10 item order on Instacart might include a $35 tip, to where there might be a $10 10 item order on Shipt, and you might get a $35 tip for it. So or just kind of look at it the other way, for the same amounts, it might be a $20 order on Instacart and a $20 order on Shipt, and let's say similar number of items can take you similar amount of time. Take that Shipt order 9 times out of 10, you're more than likely going to make more money on that order. Some things you want to look for is number of items. Don't pay attention to the estimated time on Shipt. It's kind of stupid, it's not super accurate, but you want to pay attention to the number of items and delivery time. It's kind of the two things you're looking at. Normally it's listed in miles is what you're kind of paying attention to, and just kind of know your area and how far you are from each store as well as something you want to pay attention to. And at least in this area, Instacart tends to not have any type of promotional money on each order. I've seen it happen before. If an order's not taken after a while, then sure, they bump it and it goes up and up and up. Doesn't really happen very much in the Chicago area. Shipt, however, has promos, and you'll see quite a few promos on order, and as it gets closer and closer and closer to delivery time, the promo money will go higher and higher. And what's cool about that is when you claim a promo, you can now deliver that order late. Now, obviously, you don't want to be ridiculously late because the customer's expecting it at a specific time, and if you don't deliver it within a specific time, probably not getting tipped. So you want to be reasonable with it, but if it's, you know, if you're taking that order and you know for sure you're not gonna make it on time, you can still take it if it's got that promo on there. So I won't touch a Shipt order really anymore without a promo on it. I won't touch an Instacart order really anymore without a decent tip on it. It's kind of the way I compare the two back and forth. And if they don't meet those two requirements, I'm not touching it, because I have other means of making income. I can do Uber, I can do Lyft, I can do Uber Eats, I can do Roadie, I can do Shipt and Instacart, I can do any of those things. And I also have a couple other sources of income that maybe we'll talk about in the future that I'm still growing right now. So there's no reason for me to take a shitty order unless, you know, everything is fucking dried up. And for the most part, I'm not doing Uber and Lyft right now, I'm doing Uber Eats. So, you know, if I don't have Uber and Lyft on and I just have Uber Eats and Instacart and Shipt, then sure, I might be a little less picky with a couple of orders. But for the most part, that's what I'm looking at. And I really do think it's super easy, super straightforward. And like I said, the money's dipped down a little bit, and at least in this market. And so it's not as advantageous. But back in May and June and July of last year, I was doing about $60 an hour, just Shipt. I didn't even really do much Instacart before. I was doing $60 an hour on Shipt. Since then, they flooded it with shoppers, but it does seem like some shoppers are returning back to other jobs and things like that. And so there is more and more orders picking up. Each company will occasionally offer like promos where if you do 10 orders, you get a $50 bonus, or you do 15 orders, you get $100. It's all market dependent and everything, but those don't come all that often on Instacart. They seem to be pretty regular now on Shipt, so that leads me to believe they're starting to hurt for shoppers, and that's going to probably lead to those promos going higher and higher. And the caveat with those promos on Shipt is if you take the bonuses that they give you, you know, the 10, if you do 10 orders and you get $50 or whatever, if you take an order that has a promotional money on it, as a promo order where it's a higher pay, it does not count towards one of those 10 orders. So keep that in mind as well. And if you deliver it late, it does not count towards one of those 10 orders. So you gotta kind of weigh it out sometimes, where it might make more sense to take, you know, 3 orders that have $10 promotion on them versus trying to chase down those 10 orders for that $50 bonus, and, you know, maybe take the promo orders instead of doing the bonus. But it's kind of hit or miss. Overall, I mean, if you want some tips and tricks and things like that, I got some past videos where I did some stuff on Shipt. But overall, like I said, it is very, very, very straight fucking forward on how to do the whole thing. So I wouldn't worry if you're nervous about doing it. Do your first order, make it a small one. Nice, easy, small order. That's kind of how I got started. Just kind of took a random small order. And here's the thing, if you fuck up, you fuck up. No one's gonna really, sure, maybe they can deactivate you, but if you were too nervous to start, then does it really matter if you're deactivated? You know, so I would say just get out there, get your order done. If you do have any questions about it, let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions. I've been doing Shipt now for a year, Instacart for, call it 7-8 months, somewhere in there. Started Instacart shortly after I did Shipt. But yeah, that's one way I've used to avoid 9 to 5, make my own schedule, work whenever I want. I guess that's the other thing too, is kind of the whole point of this video, F the 9 to 5, is pick your own schedule, work when you want. Obviously, you've got to kind of fit into hours of grocery stores when people are going to be placing orders and things like that. But for the most part, you can work your own schedule. You're probably not going to get your orders at 2 a.m., but you're between 7 a.m. and 9 to 10 p.m., orders are there. So you can make your own schedule and make it work how you want it to work. But like I said, if you have any other questions, let me know. But until next time, guys, like, comment, share. Let me know what you think.